What's up, metahumans? I'm Lori Wynton. That's Peter Speroni. Today, we're going to talk about T-Pain. I recently saw a TikTok where he was explaining how much money he's making right now playing video games on Twitch versus what he was making as probably the #1 music artist back in the early 2000s. And it just kind of struck me because I thought as entertainment attorneys, we could bring a little bit of context to what he was talking about and tell you guys, like, yes, he's probably telling the truth in that he is making more money now, because making money as a music artist is tough.
Real tough.
Real tough.
He he's quoted in saying back in 2008 he had 14 #1 hits on the Billboard charts, which is significant. And you say I have the most of all time. It may have been in 2008, but Mariah Carey's got more than that. I gotta always give a shout out to my girl. But yeah, that's a massive amount of money that he's earned from that. It's interesting because Twitch in the gaming world, I just earlier today did a live stream with esports companies and talked about the gaming world. And it's interesting because the gaming world is actually far larger than the music industry and entertainment industry.
Oh my God,
I mean, there's more money there that's been earned in that space than in other entertainment areas. So he's only got 600,000 subscribers on Twitch. And so that's not that many, when you see people with millions on YouTube.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty it's almost a niche market of gamers that follow that. So I think the monetization from Twitch must be significant. As opposed to YouTube.
Let's see what he said. It's a quick clip.
I'm making more money off of video games than I've made in the last 4 years. No, just playing them.
Wait, you're making money playing video games. So that's playing them on Twitch.
Steve-O.
So from your Twitch stream, you're getting more revenue than from music?
Yeah.
I'm making...
Yeah. I can believe it.
Steve-O.
Steve-O's great. I love his like bounce back.
Yeah, he sounds rough right there. Yes. I mean, yeah, good on him. And the thing is, it's so much less work. I'm sure he realizes that.
It's
just
probably
playing,
and I'm sure it's way more fun.
Having people watch him play a video game, like that's it, and to make more money in music. Now, he did make a lot of money in music, and we can dive into a little bit about how. If you have a #1 hit, there's a general rule that you've got enough money to set yourself up for the rest of your life. And he had 14 in 2008. So there's a ton of royalties that are available, a ton of revenue streams that can be created through synchronization licensing. When you sync your song with a movie, or you get it on the soundtrack, commercials can pay out, couple hundreds of thousands of dollars for like a national car commercial. Like when you see the Jeep Wrangler going up in the mountains and there's like some band that's credited on the lower right of the screen, those are big deals, because what's the argument there? The argument's that Ford is using the music to market and promote themselves, because the music gives a feel that aligns with the mission of the Jeep. And that's why those sync deals are usually the most lucrative. And then you have, blanket licensing, monetization pools, through distributors on YouTube, mechanical royalties as songwriters that are typically paid out to the music publishers. There's public performance royalties collected by, any public performance, BMI, ASCAP, CSAC, anytime it's played on the radio, streaming. There's so much opportunity and so many royalties to be claimed. And often people don't know what they are.
Yep.
And they don't know that they're owed a lot more money.
A lot. And it just sits there. Just sits there. Hold on, let me see if I can share. Let me see if this works. It doesn't look janky. All right, it doesn't look crazy. I'm pulling it up. I know you can't see it, Peter, but I pulled up the list. Billboard's highest paid musicians from 2020. We did a series on this on a previous YouTube channel back in the day. So just looking at what Taylor Swift made in 2020, she was the number one highest paid musician in 2020. She made an overall amount of $23.8 million. Streams of revenue here are streaming, physical sales, publishing, and touring. And for 2020, we know everything was shut down, so touring is $0. And she still made $28 million. Streaming, $10.6 million. Well, we know with Taylor Swift, that comes from the fact that she's had a little bit going on with her albums lately. So her streaming was probably significantly higher than, everything else. And then her publishing, you can see the difference between her streaming, which was 10.6 million, her sales, which was 10 million, and her publishing, which was 3.2 million.
Mm-hmm.
Number two highest paid for 2020 was Post Malone. He made $23.2 million.
I like Post Malone. He's doing his thing.
I like it too.
I like him. I mean, if you can write a hook, you can write a hook. Like, he writes hooks that are hits. Like, it's just, he's got the melodies in his head. But yeah, I mean, something like streaming though, like with Taylor Swift, remember she wrote the letter to Spotify. She also wrote the letter to Apple, pulling her music from Spotify, and they bowed down. They were like, okay, let's negotiate. So Spotify is notorious for paying out significantly less royalties than other streaming sites. The reason for that, there's multiple reasons for that. But they had a deal with the record labels, and they caused a rift within the record labels back about maybe 5-6 years ago. That the record labels were going to be the only ones that could negotiate directly with Spotify for the deals, the royalty rights. Right. And then there seems to be some sort of a breach that happened where they were individually negotiating with artists from labels on a case-by-case basis, which caused a rift in the industry and a breach of contract situation. I'm not sure how that was resolved. But if you're not Taylor Swift and you don't have clout, you can enjoy your 0.0006 percentage of a royalty off your streaming. Right. I think it's how many million? A million streams get you about $3,500. Yeah, on Spotify.
Yeah. So I was looking at the list while you were talking as well, and one of the points that I was going to make with T-Pain is that if you look at the top 5 of this list, including Taylor Swift, but she's the outlier. Post Malone, the majority of his money came from touring at $12 million. Celine Dion, arguably one of the biggest artists on the planet, made $17.5 million overall. 17 million of that was from touring. Of course, she's got, a residency, but 17 million is from touring. The Eagles made $16.3 million overall. 11 million, the majority of it was from touring. So as an artist, if you're not touring your music, you're not making money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a significant income stream for artists. The Eagles are always, because the Eagles tour all the time. They do the stadium tours, the big venues, Madison Square Garden, and football stadiums. And I always find them on this list every year, because not the past couple of years, probably due to COVID, but they're always on the top Billboard list because they tour. So
they're on the road.
Significant money comes from touring from an artist, a successful artist.
So if you're looking at somebody like a T-Pain, when is the last time you heard T-Pain was on tour? Touring his music, and he did a lot of music for a lot of other people, so it would be hard for him to tour all of his music. I mean, he's gonna of course get performance money from the other artists who are performing those songs, but if those artists aren't touring, then he's not making money either.
Yeah, T-Pain is notorious for being featured as an artist, and those deals can look a little bit different. Appearance fees type stuff. And somebody like T-Pain, if you want him on your record, you're going to pay the big bucks just to get him in the studio, because he's got the clout to negotiate that. So yeah, you're right. I mean, how would you, if you've got a ton of hits on the radio all at once from all these different artists because you're just featured on their album, touring isn't really something that works for you, because all of those artists, they may not be touring, or they may be in all different cities at the same time. So it's sort of a selective, selective effort.
So when he says,
and
he's
he
making
probably
more money
gets a
now.
one time, and he probably doesn't, even if he performed at one of those artist shows, it wouldn't be on the full tour. Maybe it would, but it would be, oh, I'm in LA, you're in LA, we'll do the Staples Center together.
Yeah. Right.
But he doesn't travel with them to New York, so he'd get his fee for the day, and that would be that. And his fee would be astronomical, I'm sure.
It'd be huge.
But yeah.
So
interesting.
We wanted to give you guys
games.
We wanted to give you guys a little bit of context to him saying he makes more now playing on Twitch than he did as a musician. Which when I heard him say it, and I knew when I brought it to we were both going to say, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah,
all right.
music
You guys,
is hard.
It's tough. You guys let us know what you think about T-Pain's comments. Drop them down in the comment section. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. For now, I'm Lawyer Wynton. That's Peter Speroni. Together, we make up the Web3 attorneys, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you.